Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day, episode number 147. My name is Leland Brungart, and thank you guys so much for joining me. Happy Friday, everybody. The two films I'm going to be seeing this weekend, I'm going to be seeing Crank 2, or not Crank 2, Crank High Voltage, later this weekend. And today I'm kicking off Friday with a review of 17 again. And this is the newest film from director Burr Steels, who did Igby Goes Down a couple of years ago, which is a film I enjoyed. Since then, I believe he's directed a couple television things. He did an episode of Big Love. And if you haven't watched Big Love, I highly recommend that show. I wasn't a big fan the first 2 seasons of it, but this season I started watching it on HBO, every single episode, and I love it. It is one of my favorite shows on TV right now. I cannot wait for it to come back. The last season was such great television, and you should check it out. 17 again stars Zac Efron, Thomas Lennon, Leslie Mann, Matthew Perry, and Michelle Trachtenberg. This film, very formulaic. Matthew Perry is a father. He's getting divorced from his wife, and he's having trouble reconnecting with his family. His family doesn't really like him. He's misunderstood. There's a lot of problems. He goes back to his old high school, kind of where his glory days were, and he meets this old janitor. The janitor is like a guardian angel, kind of, and sends Zac Efron back in time, sort of, and puts him back in his 17-year-old body. And Zac Efron is forced to go back to high school and reconnect with his family and learn why the path he chose was right all along. My biggest critique of this film is that it is incredibly formulaic. We have seen these types of films so many times. It's Freaky Friday, it's Big, it's 13 going on 30. We have seen these types of films over and over again. It's a formula, and I had a similar experience watching this film that I did with Sunshine Cleaning, and they're formulaic, but the formula works. I mean, they are a formula for a reason. The film hits all the beats it needs to make a film that keeps you going. It's not entirely original, but it moves along at a brisk enough pace that I really didn't mind that. Also, I'm going to say something right now that I think is kind of strange and controversial, maybe. Internet, please stop making fun of Zac Efron. The guy, I think, if for no other reason, it is so easy to make fun of him, and we should be making fun of people who deserve to be made fun of. He was in High School Musical. That is such an easy target. But Zac Efron is a pretty talented young actor, and this film solidified that for me even more. I could tell in High School Musical, because he is very charismatic in those films, and he is very charismatic in this film, and he puts out a great leading man performance in this film, and I think that there is going to be some director down the line, some writer, who is going to realize this and is really going to make Zac Efron a legitimate actor. I think of all these young actors in Hollywood right now, I'm kind of thinking of Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson. I don't think they're going to last. I really don't think they have the range. I don't think they have the charisma to really pull it off, and I think Zac Efron does, and I think someone is going to realize this, and everything will be great. So internet, you hateful motherfuckers, leave Zac Efron alone. Zac, I have your back. Zac Efron is a big fan of Review a Day. He's watching for sure, so sorry guys, I love Zac Efron, I had to say it. Also, this film has a great cast, a really great cast that makes this film very funny and a lot of fun to watch. Thomas Lennon from Reno 911, he plays Jim Dangle on that show, is hysterical in this movie. I would actually say that for the people who went and saw Observe and Report and were expecting something maybe along the lines of I Love You Man, I would actually push them in the direction of 17 again. Thomas Lennon puts out a very funny performance. Melora Arden, who you probably know as Jan from the US version of The Office, plays the principal in this film, and their relationship in this film is very, very funny, and I really did kind of dig that about it. Stupid, but funny. Also, really great cameos from Margaret Cho, who plays a sex ed teacher. I love Margaret Cho, huge fan of her comedy. Also, Jim Gaffigan has a really small role in this film as the high school basketball coach. It was just really nice to see a film like this that could have so easily been Fired Up, which I reviewed a while back, or could have been a really teen flick you could throw by the wayside, but I think 17 again is a little bit better than that. I don't think it's a great film, but I definitely did enjoy it, and I think Zac Efron is really talented. Thomas Lennon is incredibly funny in this film, and at the end of the day, I had a really good time watching this film. It isn't life-changing. But I think a lot of people will be surprised how much better this film is than it looked in the trailers. I give 17 again a 3 out of 5. That was disgusting. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. Rate, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.